When I lived in Italy, at the very beginning of the 16th century, I invented a lot of systems and machines. Some of them were instruments of war, particularly appreciated by my different employers. But most of my ideas were intended to make life easier and to explore new dimensions, like flying in the air. In the future, all my inventions will certainly be realized in the real world, thanks to the multiple contributions of thousands of researchers and inventors. Leonardo, amore mio. I am sure that they all will try to bring more wellness to our lives. But sometimes when I imagine our future world, I ask myself a lot of questions. It seems that most new ideas create new disasters. It is the old problem of the other side of the coin. How would it be possible to protect the personal privacy sphere of every human being? We will probably need to create a framework to regularize all the questions related to privacy, safety, and security. Yes, that's right. To be exhaustive, the best would be a three-faceted system. First, we have to define typical modalities linked to our senses. We will name them video in and out, then tango in and tango out, audio in, audio out, chemo in, chemo out, radio in, radio out, calor in, calor out, and finally electro in and electro out. Yes. The second dimension would be the scientific layers defined by physics, chemistry, biology, culturology, and psychology. Finally, the third pole would be a choice of all known measurement units related to the interaction between a human body and its environment. That means the meter, the kilogram, the second, the ampere, the Kelvin, the mole, the candela, etc., etc. If my calculations are right, we will obtain a total of 2,240 combinations. This should be enough to cover every possible situation, reaching from the very little microcosmos to the infinite macrocosmos, at every scale. Well, who knows if all this will be useful? Maybe one day, if we only could pay attention to propinquity, nearness to nighness, then perhaps could we continue our travel through the universe in harmony with the stars. At the start of the 21st century, human beings increasingly rely on machines to interact. More and more telecommunication and biometric devices, also called telebiometric devices, are needed for us to communicate. communication devices that we use every day often represent no apparent risk. If the set of information carried by the various devices is inappropriate or too strong, in other words, not enough respectful of our human sensitivity, it can potentially bring about hazards such as lesions, cellular damages, alterations of biological rhythms, stress, isolation, breach of the right to privacy. Every person needs human means to be protected in his or her personal privacy sphere, in an environment increasingly composed of telecommunication machine terminals. Knowledge of currently accepted safe levels for various aspects of the use of telebiometric devices is essential to protect the manufacturers of such devices from later claims of negligence in their provision and use. Threshold values and standards can be applied to protect both the manufacturers and the user. The telebiometric model entitled Wetware Protocols recognizes 14 aspects of the interaction between the human body and its environment. This interaction is measured through 7 modalities, which are related to our 5 senses, and a little more. Seeing. Video in is a modality concerned by any input stimulus which can be detected by and which can affect or damage the human eye. Video out is concerned by any output from a human being which can be detected by the human eye or an image sensor. Touching. Tango in is a modality concerned by any input stimulus which can be detected by nerve endings in the human body or which affects or damages human cells. Tango out is concerned by any pressure produced by movements of the human body, including openings in the skin or sensors. Hearing. Audio in is a modality concerned by any input stimulus that can be detected by or which can affect or damage the human ear. Audio out is concerned by any sound produced by the human cords of a human being and artificial sounds which can be detected by the human ear or a sensor. And we have together tasting and smelling into one modality. Chemo in, concerned by any input stimulus which can be detected by and which can affect or damage the human sense of taste and smell. Chemo out is concerned by any chemical emission from the human body which can be detected by the chemical sensing organs of a human being or a sensor. The next modality concerns something which we usually cannot experience through our 5 senses, but which affects us nevertheless: radioactivity. Radio in is concerned by any input stimulus from a source of ionizing or nuclear radiation which can affect or damage the nucleus of the cells of the human body. Radio out is concerned by any ionizing radiation from the human body which can be detected with a sensor. Heat. Calor in is concerned by any input stimulus that can be detected by thermosensors, cold receptors and warm receptors in the human skin and mucous surfaces and any kind of heat transfer into the human body. Calor out is concerned by any kind of heat transfer from the human body. Electricity. electro-in is concerned by any stimulus from external sources of non-radiating electric or magnetic fields that can affect or damage the human body. And finally, electro-out is concerned by any output from the human body that is a source of a non-radiating electric or magnetic field. For each of these modalities, thanks to the devices, a multitude of tests are done in the following domains: physics, chemistry, biology, culturology, and psychology. Furthermore, when diagnosis is achieved, comes the remedy or pharmacon. For example, radiation for cancer therapy, antibiotics, nutrition and exercise, a lawyer advice, a meaningful advice or discipline. The model proposes a quantity of standard measurements to guarantee 0% toxicity or harmfulness in the set of signals going inwards from telecommunication devices, because the interactions between a person and its environment can be sensed, measured, and thus potentially identified. The model is designed to let us stay alive and well with a protected privacy while we interact safely in any given environment through any type of machine. On the other side, the model guarantees 100% confidentiality and authenticability in the set of signals going outward of the personal privacy sphere. The extent of such measurements can also guarantee to avoid ecological issues, such as environmental damages, so that we can all pursue our life in harmony with nature and the universe.